to talk technology with a man who loves it. Of course, I do refer to Ben Aylett. BenAylett.com, 1L, 2 T's in Aylett.
That's right.
Is the website, recognisable by his Hawaiian shirt. How are we, mate?
I'm doing great, actually. Yeah, it's been super busy over the last couple of weeks.
Well, what's been happening in the wonderful world of technology?
Well, it's actually been condensed down into my little world. So I've picked up a large client, and I'm now the Chief Information Security Officer for this business. So I'm helping these guys get compliant with cybersecurity and also operational security and IT security and physical security. It's all about the security, and it's been a hell of a start to the ride.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because I noticed somebody was complaining on Facebook about having two of them, actually, two bank accounts compromised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and of course, that always comes back to security.
Yep.
One of the first questions they posed is, why don't the banks have more security? But, of course, it goes a little bit deeper than that because often, whether we like to think about it or not, a lot of the problems come from people not having the security that they should have.
Absolutely. In fact, in a lot of the talks I've been doing on cybersecurity, there's been research done by the IBM security research team, and they've found that 95% of all cybersecurity incidents are caused by human error. So it's one thing to have all that security and all that software and all those systems in place, but at the end of the day, if you're not using it or not using it correctly or just completely doing the wrong thing, all those countermeasures you've put in place mean nothing.
They go straight out the window.
They go straight out the window. So it's one thing to get all the technology in place. It's another thing to know how to use it and then basically become more security conscious with your day-to-day things, especially in technology, because the power of technology not only makes it easy for us to do things, it makes it easy for not so nice people to do things to us.
Well, sometimes it makes it easier for them because a lot of those people are computer geeks.
Yep.
Whereas your average everyday user is not. They're simply using it as a tool of their whatever they're doing.
That's right.
And I noticed in this question tonight that was posed, they said they'd had their bank accounts compromised. First question, there were two questions that were asked.
Right.
First question, have you been to Bali recently? This is from people who'd had it happen to them.
For real?
The second one was, do you have an Uber account?
Yes.
So I get the Bali bit, and I get how things could be compromised there. What's the story with the Uber bit, mate?
Okay, the Uber bit has a lot to do with a really big part of cybersecurity that we don't really get to pay attention to. It's when we have systems breached or compromised. So somebody might find some information lying around that belongs to another company and they get a hold of this database, and this database is actually worth money to people on the black market because it's essentially it's mailing lists. So it's things like usernames and passwords. And you can take that information. So if you've got a username and a password, and actually this is one of the reasons why I advise people against using the same password from one account to another. Use a different password for each account, and if possible, use a different username for each account.
Yep.
It is important to do this because when people get a hold of these databases that have been breached, they immediately go and try to compromise the email account that's attached to it, thinking, in the hope that the person who has set up that account on the service are also using the same password and email address for their email. Once they get a hold of their email, then they can start doing things like resetting passwords for all these other services that they use. And it's mostly an automated service, and people get compromised very, very quickly when their information is leaked out on the internet or through the dark web, and they are using the same password across all their services. So that's something to really watch out for. Hey, if you want to find out if your email address has been listed in a owned data or in a compromised database, you can go to a website called Have I Been Pwned? I'll just get that up now. Have I been pwned? And I'll be able to spell it to you guys. It is HAVEIBEEN. So have I been? And when we say pwned in computer speak, it is spelled PWNED.com. So go along to that website. It's a safe website. It's run by an Australian guy called Troy Hunt, a fantastic security researcher and lecturer. And he really is doing the world a service by running this website. So you can actually plug in your email address. Don't put in your password. just your email address, and it will let you know if your email address is coming up in a whole bunch of these owned databases or these compromised databases. And you can actually take measures to make sure that you've got your services locked down. Namely, make sure your password is changed. You're using a unique password for every single service that you're logged into. Now, I can hear a lot of people freaking out saying, but that's a lot of passwords. And I'll say,
that's the first thing. Yep.
That's right. It is a lot of passwords. And it should be a lot of passwords, but you can manage them using something called a password manager. I'm a big fan personally of LastPass. There's also other ones called KeyPass, 1Password, and Dashlane. All very good services. Just find one that suits you the best.
Intel have one. What's it called?
Intel?
Intel, as in Intel inside. They have one.
Intel Password Manager. I have not heard of that.
Yep.
I'll have to check that out.
Trying to think of what it's called. Oh, geez, I've seen it. I've actually visually seen it.
Intel Password Manager. Just a quick Google.
Yeah.
Oh, TrueKey?
That's it. TrueKey.
TrueKey. Wow.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
You know why I should remember that, don't you?
Why is that?
Because I use it.
You use it.
I use it, yeah.
Great. So how do you find TrueKey? Is it pretty good?
Yes. Very good. Yep. It manages stuff very well.
We'll have to check it out.
And it does have another feature. If you're setting up a password, it says, would you like me to generate a password for you?
Yes. And that's what a lot of the password managers do. So me using LastPass, I have it generate these 40-character passwords with upper and lower case and numbers and weird symbols. And they are just gloriously complicated passwords, but I don't have to remember them because they're all remembered by LastPass. And I'd say to you the same thing with TrueKey.
Yeah, no complaints. It operates very well.
Yep.
By the way, if you'd like to have a chat to Ben, 922 11 882 is the telephone number.
Yep.
Give him a buzz. He'll answer your question or point you in the right direction.
So we have to let you go.
What?
You're just not fitting in. Staff have huge problems.
use the website 1L2Ts in Aylett.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Des.
Maybe the gentleman I need. This is a couple of months back now.
Yep.
My son was went to do something one night, and his email said, you have been banned from using it because of improper use. And he said, well, hang on, all I ever do is just get emails, I don't send all that sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So that thing you were just saying, have I been PWNED?
Yep.
And then what did you do after that?
Well, once you go there, so it's haveibeenpwned.com.
Oh, all right.
So you go to that website.
.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what is it? Pwned.
Pwned.
P-O.
PWNED.
Yes,
Ah.
yes, right.
Okay.
Yep.
So haveibeenpwned.com.
That's it. And you pop in your email address.
Email
And
address. Well,
it'll tell you.
email address.
Yep. It'll tell you if that email address has been listed in a compromised database.
Mm-hmm. So you put your email address. You don't put name or anything like that. None of that.
No,
stuff?
just the email address. So no names, no
Okay.
passwords, no other identifying information. And it'll search its extensive list of databases that have been breached, and it'll tell you which database it's been breached on.
Yeah, because we tried to get through to the server that he has, and they said, "Oh, we can't do it." And then they said, "Go to this thing to get into your email provider or whatever it was." And all the kids said, "Do this, do that, do that, do that." And every time he got to the third one, it put him back to the first one, and he didn't get anywhere.
Okay.
So we've been sitting around for 2 months trying to find out why the hell he can't use it.
Oh, no. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that sort of email message coming through that's unexpected and it's saying things like you're going to be banned, you've got to click on this to renew it. Don't do it. It's usually a scam, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to get access to your email account. Once they've got access to your email account, they've pretty much got the keys to your kingdom.
Yeah, I know. He went so far, and he just said he did this and did that, and he said, no, out of here.
Good.
So I said, and we haven't been able to get any further. Okay, thank you, my friend.
No problem. Thanks very much for calling, Des.
That's a good question, Des. Thank you very
a good
much for that.
Yep.
Hello, Jenny.
Oh, hi, Chris. Long-time listener. This is the first time I call.
Oh, welcome.
Nice to hear from you, Jenny. Got a question for Ben?
It's almost identical to that gentleman who asked.
Uh-huh.
It's just that I'm so surprised that every time I open my email, I try to reply,
Yep.
but it just does not allow me to send the message. And the next thing they say is Google alert. How? And when I go into all the steps, it says, give me the telephone number, how long did you open this account, and everything.
Okay.
And I never sort of, I've been using this account for a long time. It's just that recently I've got this problem.
Okay. Now, this email that you keep replying to or trying to reply to, is this an email that you expected? How does it read?
No, because I submitted my resident return visa and it has been approved and things like that.
Yep.
So I tried to read, it's okay, but I tried to print, there's nothing. And I tried to make inquiry, it says Google alert, the next thing. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I thought I forgot my password, but actually my password was correct and everything was correct.
Wow.
Is there any way that can be?
It can be what? Have someone
Want
get
to
into your
find
account?
out? Yeah, want to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, without seeing the
But
email.
when they send me the notification for verification or whatever,
Yep.
I just send this email, and then they sort of never reply. And then every time I try to reply any emails that I receive,
Jenny, it's not a do not reply email, is it? It's not like one of those automated things that sends it out saying we've received it, but
Not
says
at
do
all.
not reply to this email.
no, not at all. My personal email, when they says, okay, you attend, do you want to attend this conference? You just reply and says, okay, I'm going to attend on the 3rd of March, so on. But I just couldn't send it at all.
Right, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Forward that to my email address, chrisi@6pr.com.au, and I'll get it on to Ben. And we'll have a look at it. Yeah, we'll have a look at it, Jen, and find out what's going on there. Norman.
This is an important, urgent issue.
Yeah.
I've got another computer 3 years old in May,
Uh-huh.
and it's very slow.
Uh-huh.
And I want to know how I could split up my RAM from 4 to 8. Is there any chance that Ben could come out and have a look at it?
Yeah, sure. It is possible. Balladura. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I could come out and see you, and we could look at upgrading the RAM from 4 gig to 8 gig.
Do you want me to stay on the line? Give me my address.
What's
my
that?
Postal address. My address.
Oh, no, mate. We'll get you in contact with Ben. Just send me an email with your email address at the top, Ben, and I'll forward that on to Ben.
Yep.
So that's the best way. I know you've done that before, Norman, so you got my email address. That's the best way to do it.
That's the way to go.
Hello, Clancy.
Yeah, hi, Ben. Since
Yes.
Uber been hacked,
Yes.
and my email address being compromised, and I get all these emails from all these Bitcoin and all these, nuisance emails. So
Yep.
how do I
How do you stop it?
that?
Unfortunately, the only way you can stop it is change your email address, which is not appealing to anyone, or you just do your best to ignore it. So I'm in the same boat. I cop a lot of spam email. I use a few different services. I mean, Gmail is actually quite good when it comes to filtering out bad email. It's not perfect, but it's really quite good. So I would recommend when you sign up for services, you should have a second email account that you use.
Just email, given email address.
Just a garbage email account that you can check and verify now and then when you need to. Otherwise, it just sits there and fills up with garbage, and you can carry on your merry way with your proper email address.
Oh, I see. That's a good idea. And to change that email address now, it's a bit of a thing, isn't it? Got to advise all my contacts and all this, and that's the hassle. And letting all your friends and family and people that you do business with, let them all know that you're now on a different email address, all the while trying not to alert the spammers that you've changed your email address as well.
Hey, listen, you guys who are white hats, who are really nice blokes fundamentally.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
No worries.
Thank you very much, Clancy. I was going to ask on Clancy's behalf, actually.
Yeah.
You blokes need to write programs that we can load onto our computers and send back to the spammers and nuke the spammers. I'm talking about death by remote control. In cyberspace, by the way, not literally. Just want to be clear, especially in this day and age. You never know who's going to get offended and say, I know what you really meant. No, you don't. I meant blow up their bloody computer. How do we do it?
Well, normally that'd be very difficult to do because the spammers, guess what? They use fake email addresses. So it's really
what you need is the smart stuff can sniff it out and go, I know what you're really using.
Yep.
I can't work out why they've never come up with that, actually.
Well, it's because the way the spammers do it. They usually take control of some innocent person's computer and they have the innocent person's computer do all the dirty work.
You know these spammers don't have families, don't you?
I don't know. I can't
and if they do, they're not loved by them.
Yeah.
Pretty
Probably
sure
not.
at that. 92211882 is our telephone number. benaylett.com is the website. You'll see a little thing called Contact.
Yep.
And that's where you'll find all of his contact information. In fact, you can contact him using contact methods that you've never thought of before.
Hi, Simon Beaumont. On afternoons, Trevor Long is the High Priest.
is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley on 882 6PR.
92211882 benaylett.com is the website for our
That's
tech
right.
man, Ben Aylett.
Yes.
Like I say, 1L, 2 T's in Aylett, and all the contact information he possibly wants there.
Yeah.
In fact, I love the way they say, we never communicate these days, and I was just counting up how many different ways we can contact you.
Yeah.
There's only one thing missing, mate.
What's that?
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
That's so low tech.
Yeah.
Hello, Tom.
Allergies.
Evening, gents. Look,
Evening, Tom.
just a quick question is, my son is receiving my text messages and vice versa on his phone. Now, he's got a separate SIM card, and both got iPhones. I have an iPhone X, he's got an iPhone 8S.
Yep.
I set it up initially as a new iPhone. This is his phone.
Yep.
But I did log in at one stage with my Apple ID, and I've since logged out. But he's continuing to receive my SMS messages, and I'm wondering why or how I can stop that.
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with you signing in with the Apple ID, with your Apple ID on his phone. So
Right.
Does he have an Apple ID?
He does, but I changed his password for
All right.
obvious reasons.
Yeah. He's got to log into his phone using his Apple ID.
Right.
That should fix
And
it.
if he does that, that'll fix it.
Yep.
Because I did install one of those sort of family trackers, that you can sort of see what websites and stuff, but it wouldn't have anything to do with that, would it?
Unlikely.
Unlikely, all right.
Yep.
So if I try it with his Apple ID and log in,
Yep.
hopefully it'll stop it. All right, thanks very much.
That's right.
No, pleasure, Tom. That's the only problem, isn't it? You can't just say, do this once. I'm logging in. Yes, I'm logging into this one, but just do this once.
Yep.
Remember the one I told you was the real one? Just remember that one. This time I want to do it just once.
Yeah.
A bit like Google when it lets you log in with an account and you have the option sign in with another account.
Yep.
All right? But then it gives you the option, and if you want to remove an account, you can do that.
That's right.
I mean, surely, see, this stuff wouldn't have happened if Steve Jobs was still alive. He would have thought about all that stuff. He thought about all that stuff. There's no way he would have missed it.
He was big on product design, and he did manage to sort of crack the whip and make sure everyone was on the same page.
By the way, from Brian, Ben,
Yes.
how do I get an iPad to send a text to an Android phone?
If the iPad has got 3G and Wi-Fi, not just Wi-Fi, so it's got 3G.
3G and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, then you should be able to send a normal text.
So it doesn't matter what the receiving phone is.
Exactly, yeah.
Good stuff.
That should work.
All right.
Just Wi-Fi not going to work.
Last drinks, 92211882, the telephone number if you'd like to have a chat to Ben.
Yep.
Meantime, something that's been talked about a fair bit.
Yes.
And it has definitely gone up and down. There is no doubt in my mind that we're talking about something that operates like futures.
Yes.
It's purely about speculation. Speculation means some people will win, some people will win big.
Yep.
It also means some people will lose and some people will lose in the most spectacular fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I refer to Bitcoin.
That's right. Look, this story has only just popped up in my feed. It is from a story from 9 News. And there's this poor fella called James Howells, an IT worker from Newport in Wales, who basically threw away his entire Bitcoin fortune, literally. So in 2009, he purchased 7,500 Bitcoins for next to nothing. And I did a quick calculation on the price round about then. So 7,500 Bitcoins, and back in that day was maybe a couple of dollars. So
as in $2.
$2. Okay. That's it. So $2 or less. And then he popped that Bitcoin wallet of his and stored it on the hard drive. Okay, so
no cloud.
No,
in
no
those
cloud.
days, no cloud.
No cloud, no backup. He just put
Why do I
his
know
Bitcoin.
where this is going?
Yeah. Okay. So days became months, and Mr. Howells soon forgot about his cryptocurrency wallet sitting on the hard drive
For $2, not
for a couple of
the
bucks.
thing you'd remember.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a toy thing you're playing with back then.
Yeah.
Now he went and spilled his drink on his computer, and
Happens.
it happens. And he probably just shrugged and said, "Oh well, I've lost the computer. I might as well just throw it out." So he threw out his computer and the hard drive in it with a Bitcoin wallet full of 7,500 Bitcoins. Now today, it's worth about $90 million. So
what
somewhere
did
in
we have? We had.
somewhere in the landfill, there is a computer with a maybe a recoverable.
I've just
wallet.
done the online calculation.
Yep.
Right, as we sit here now,
Yep.
2,500 Bitcoin equals $34,521,772.46 Australian.
Yeah, now if you want to really hurt, his wallet was holding 7,500 Bitcoin. So just update that calculation.
Holy, hang on, let's just update that.
Let's do that.
7,500 Bitcoin.
Yep.
You ready for this?
Yeah, this is going to hurt.
$103,175,174.37.
Ouch. That is devastating. So he's...
And he bought that for $2.
Yeah. Yeah, so... I don't know. You can say a lot of people win, but a lot of people lose, but then there's some people who win. But unfortunately, this guy has won.
You do realise at its peak that Bitcoin would have been worth $250 million, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty awesome. Anyway.
I'll tell you what, mate, if I'd had that, I wouldn't have hung around. Once it got to that point, I'd have just sold the damn stuff. And I'd have given... I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have had any hesitation. I'd have given Mr. Morrison his share and said, no, I'm right, I'm cool.
I'm good.
Go and have a chat to Nick Bruning and say, what do we do with the lazy 125 mil I've got to invest? Bernadette would sure as hell be getting a new kitchen, I'll promise you that.
There you go. Yeah. That should keep her happy. New kitchen.
That's right. Done. She wouldn't complain about me saying I want my $25,000 home theatre system either.
Yeah. Now, look, this guy still thinks that there's a chance that he can get this back. He's just got to raise...
good luck, Johnny, especially if everyone knows why you... I mean, how many people desperately chase their old computer from landfill?
Mm-hmm. So he's actually trying to raise money now to see if he can at least excavate the landfill so he can hopefully recover the hard drive.
I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah, well, hopefully recover the hard drive and then be able to get the Bitcoin wallet off it. I mean, people...
You know, the Dazer operator at the landfill, he'll be looking at him and saying, Charlie, what's in this for me?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's like digging for gold. People would dig up a whole bunch of dirt for $90 million, wouldn't they? Or $100 million.
$103.175 million, my friend.
Yep. And you've got an idea of exactly where, you've got a rough idea where it is. And if you had the promise of pulling up at least half that, you'd still go for it, wouldn't you?
My God, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I'll tell you what, though, if he rocks around to your place and said, can you help me open this hard drive? Before you jack up the spin right, I'd be saying, well, I'm sorry, but my fee's just gone up.
I'd say my labour is free, but I'll be wanting a percentage.
That's fair.
Yeah.
7.5%.
That sounds good. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Just about $8 million.
Nice.
Yes. And all you've done is taken a very low commission rate.
Yeah.
Standard commission rate's 12.5%. So we've been generous by saying 7.5%.
That's great. There you go. Everyone wins.
Amazing. You look at this sort of stuff and you think to yourself, God. Hey, listen, mate, time has all but eluded us. Tell us about your podcasts.
Oh, the podcasts. Yes. Well, look, podcasts are a way, I've actually got a big article on it on my website. So just go on over to benaylett.com. But a podcast, it's basically radio on your terms. So, I mean, 6PR has got a podcast. I mean, Chris, you have been producing a huge amount of podcasts, and they're all on iTunes and Spotify and all the other places where you find podcasts.
Yep.
And people can subscribe to a podcast. Now, when we say subscribe, a lot of people think, oh, man, that means I have to sign a contract and pay money.
No information.
Absolutely
Sign
not.
up.
Yep.
Just, I want this.
So we don't want your name, don't want your address, we don't want your email address, we don't want any money. Just click on a subscribe button and you'll get podcasts as they are made, recorded and then uploaded. They're delivered directly to your podcast player. I've also got a podcast myself, and I've also listed a whole bunch of other podcasts in that podcast story.
Beautiful. The website, by the way, is benaylett.com. 1 L, 2 T's in Aylett, benaylett.com. And as always, my friend, firstly, thank you.
Thank you.
And secondly, we'll see you next week.
I'll catch you then.
And by the way, don't forget, benaylett.com.
Telethon Mega Bingo returns this Saturday.